Yo, 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 yo. Ring Ropes and Turnbuckle podcast coming up next. We got a special guest, Mr. Alan Smith of Stars of Wrestling. We gonna talk that talk coming up next.
Following podcast scheduled for one fall. Introducing first, they are the Internet Podcast.
Yeah, we back. Ring Ropes and Turnbuckle podcast. It's your boys, tag team champions of the world. The insightful S got bars wrestling media and the dynamic Dark Wing Salute Dub. And our co-host and special guest for this evening, we got the legendary Mr. Alan Smith. Let's give a round of applause. With a little bit of air horns. Yeah.
I think that's the most I've ever gotten in my career.
Nah. It's well deserved. Hey, man, like, we got a lot to talk about. I got a lot of questions. I know Dub has a lot of questions. I don't know. You want to start off, Dub? Go ahead and start off.
Well, I just wanted to say this first. I want to apologize to you, Mr. Allen, to you, Bars, and to all the listeners out there. We were actually supposed to do this on Tuesday. Was it Tuesday? Yeah, Tuesday.
It was Tuesday.
And due to my medication being, they upped the ante on my diabetic medication, and I've been sick since Tuesday. So I do want to apologize to you two specifically and to our viewers and listeners out there that we wasn't able to make this happen. Also, apologize for the delay we've had. Them upping the medication on my diabetic medication has really just taken a toll on my body. So we've been in a bit of a delay because of it. So again, to you two and to all of our listeners, I do apologize.
Yeah, sometimes, life happens. And we always promote health first. You know what I mean? So this podcast would not be where it's at today if the dynamic one is not in the building. So I made that decision to say, look, we ain't recording until the dynamic one is back. You know what I'm saying? Only in emergency that I'll do it by myself. But you know what I'm saying? He's back. He's healthy. We good. And we got our special guest here. So let's get it cracking. Hey, so dynamic one's going to go first.
Mr. Alan Smith, all three of us been following each other on TikTok for quite some time, and we've been wanting to get you on here for some time too. My first question to you is, what got you into professional wrestling?
Oh, I actually got into professional wrestling when I was 4 years old. Saw it on TV and basically fell in love with it. I know through elementary school, I told a lot of kids, "Oh, I'm going to become a professional wrestler," and got laughed at a lot because I'm not the world's tallest person. And at that time, being a kid, I was kind of small and scrawny. So, um, from there, I actually went looking around and found a local wrestling school that was run by Jerry Monty and Lexus Smirnoff in Hayward, California, and basically started my training there. And I've been with the business ever since, and I'm going on my 42nd year.
Wow. Wow. Whew.
That's a long time to be in one business. 42 years. I mean,
Yeah.
that alone deserves a hand clap because a lot of people don't even work that long.
Facts, 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 facts. It definitely needs a hand clap on that. For sure, for sure. That is a
So who was the one wrestler that caught your eye that made you feel like, you know what, I want to do this for the rest of my life?
Um, that's a good question. I would have to say, because during the times I was watching it was Roy Shire's San Francisco promotion. So guys like Pat Patterson, Pepper Gomez, Moondog Mayne was one of my favorites as a kid. I really loved him, and then later on, I kind of idolized Bruiser Brody.
Hmm.
I remember Bruiser Brody. Bruiser Brody was actually one of my favorites coming up as a kid too. Like, it's a shame that he passed. We never
Mhm.
like. Can you imagine a Bruiser? You know how many Bruiser Brody clones we got right now in the industry of professional wrestling? There's a lot of them. There's a
Oh,
lot of
tons
them.
of them.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Go ahead, Dub. My bad. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you good. You good. Go for it. Go for it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
All
go
right.
on mute.
All right. So my first question is Dub already asked you about what got you into professional wrestling. So what was some of your most like I would say favorite matches as far as your career?
I know my most favorite is wrestling a very young Chris Jericho with the
Wow.
organization called Barrier Wrestling. I know another guy who used to work for WWE, worked with me at Barrier Wrestling. I knew him as Johnny Pearson. He wrestled WWE as Crash Holly.
Oh,
I
wow.
wrestled him so many times, I lost count after a while.
So hardcore Holly. What was he still known as hardcore back then? Was he still like
Uh,
hard hitting and no nonsense back then?
not hardcore, Crash Holly,
Oh, Crash Harley. Sorry, my
the
apologies.
shorter one. Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay, all right, all right, all right. Yo, my condolences. Yeah, I remember him
No
too.
problem.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Was he as I would say because Crash was more like he was like a cruiserweight, but then he wrestled like a heavyweight. He wrestled
Yeah.
like a heavyweight, if that makes any sense. Like he wrestled like a heavyweight. What would you say like how can I put this? How would you say that you could describe him as far as like his wrestling style when you was in the ring with him at that particular time?
At that particular time, he was more like Midnight Rocker. The high flying, the high kicks, a lot of the fancy moves.
Oh, okay. Okay, wow. Was he so he definitely didn't get into the phase that we all know him for now until probably later on in his career then. So he was more of a high flyer and things like that. Did
Yeah,
he
I would say he kind of changed when he got into WWE because I guess they wanted him to stay more grounded and of course being the I don't remember if it was a hardcore 24/7 champion at the time. They didn't want him, hurting himself.
hmm Yeah, I know WWE has more of a control type of style than most of the other promotions. They have this certain unique way they want you to wrestle, and that's that. And then if you're lucky, they'll give you like they'll let you use like a good 3 or 4 of your moves, and you gotta stay within that move set, and that's it. Anything out of that realm, then then you know what I mean. You be lucky. You be lucky if you have a job. If you go anything out that realm, the what they call it, the 5 moves of doom that like John Cena used to have or whatever,
Oh
whatever.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Who else would you say that was a great match for you at that time?
Uh, that's a good question because I've wrestled so many people. I don't remember everything. The memory goes when you get older. I know I wrestled in Japan. It wasn't much of a match, but I wrestled against Antonio Inoki.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Him and Giant Baba were part of the All Japan thing at one time, and they had brought me in to work as a junior heavyweight.
Uh-huh.
But I actually did get to work a tag team match with Tony Inoki, and I don't remember who his partner was, and I was teaming up with Stan Hansen.
Oh wow. Yo, I wish Light Skin was here. Light Skin would enjoy this conversation. Shout out to Light Skin. Light Skin, we had him on the show a few weeks ago, and he's also one of our good friends. He is
Mhm.
very, very, very. You know who I'm talking about, Light Skin.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
I know
yeah,
who Light Stan is.
yeah. Like, he's very big on New Japan stuff. I wish he was in here right now. He'll probably have a ton of questions for you. Yeah.
Yeah, I
So
would say, any questions I usually about Japan now, I usually go ask him because I know he's pretty up to date on it.
Shout out to light skin. So let's stick on the Japan thing. So how long were you in Japan? Like, I know a lot of wrestlers they will do like a tour. They'll be down there for like maybe a few months. So how long was you in Japan for?
My first trip, I was only there 3 weeks,
Okay.
and then I had to go back to take care of family matters.
hmm
I came back there a couple years ago, was there about 6 months, and then my last tour was about 4 months.
Oh wow, wow, wow. So you've had some experiences down there then. So
Oh
so
yeah.
so so let me ask you this. What would you say the difference is between the Japanese fans and the crowds and the American fans? Because I know there's a big difference.
Oh yeah, there's a huge difference. Like the Japanese fans, they don't holler and cheer like the American fans do. They're kind of quiet, but when they see a move or something they like, they'll clap and give you your condolences and all that everything. But as far as going like getting real rowdy or getting real involved with the wrestlers, they kind of keep to themselves, and it's like they're there to enjoy the show, not there to get involved.
Oh, so so they're not like us over here where we'll like we'll want to reach out and touch the
Yeah.
wrestlers and stuff like that. They just give the wrestlers their space. That's different. That's different. Maybe some of us U.S. fans could learn from the Japanese fans because as of late we've been getting a little bit too much involved in the.
I kind of agree with that.
We've been
Yeah,
getting.
that was one thing working like some of the promotions down south and stuff
Mhm.
is the southern fans like to get involved, and a lot of times when you work there, there's no barriers or anything. So if you get thrown out, and I've had times where I've had beer thrown on me. I've had a couple people actually kick me because I was,
Wow.
trying to play like I'm hurt and I'm down there and I'm like too close to their feet, so they're starting to kick me. It's like it's really crazy.
Yeah, that's another thing too. Like, what would you say that could happen with professional wrestling that'll be able to police these fans a little bit better? Because nowadays, like, fans are getting out of control. You seeing fans like, and I'm gonna ask you this one other question too, but we'll get into that later. But you're seeing fans get like really, really involved. What would you say that the wrestling industry can do better as far as policing the fans and keeping them hands off?
Uh, I would say more security.
Mhm.
I know a lot of times wrestlers when they leave, they're kind of like on their own at times. I know with Stars of Wrestling, if there's a guy that's getting extreme amount of heat, I'll make sure I team up myself and then a couple other bigger guys to escort him to his car so he doesn't end up getting attacked by a fan, or if a fan gets real crazy, we can kind of stop him before they get anywhere close.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, I think policing, some of the fans could, assist in keeping a lot of the wrestlers safe. Not only that, just keeping the environment calm. You know what I mean? Because
Hmm.
I know we've been seeing a lot of off the wall stuff as of late, as far as like fans getting involved and things like that. And not for nothing, like I mean, I know we're in a different era of professional wrestling, altogether, like with the
Oh yeah.
internet, the streaming, and stuff like that. And that's kind of like my next question. Then I'm gonna pass it back to Dub. My next question is: have you been paying close attention to what's been going on with Raja Jackson and the Psycho Stu situation? What is your thoughts on that?
I've heard about it. Haven't really been keeping up too much. I do know that I heard that Raja went in because of he got hit with a gimmick beer can
Mm-hmm.
that was empty.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I mean, to me, what I saw part of the video when Stu got attacked by him, and if it were me, I would have had my guys out there a lot quicker.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can, as long as I've been in the business, you can tell when somebody's out cold, and when he went down, he went out cold.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would also be kind of scolding the referee because the referee should at least try to get in there and grab him from behind, where you can, because if you notice that he was hitting with both arms, you can stop one arm,
Mm-hmm.
it's going to do a little less damage. But I mean, most referees nowadays don't want to get involved, so that makes it kind of hard.
Do you think it would be better for like promotions to like maybe get a little bit, get referees that have wrestling experience and referees that are a little bit bigger and stronger, referees that could possibly
Oh,
handle themselves in the ring?
definitely, because I was a referee for a long time with Stars of Wrestling before I got the commissioner
Mm-hmm.
position.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I would say I think there's been a few times where I've seen wrestlers get upset, and then I get in the middle of it, and they want to punch me, and it's like, you want to punch me, I'll punch you right back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, yeah, I think for that type of reasons, not only have wrestlers that would referee from time to time, but maybe give the referees that do have some kind of defense mechanism,
Mm-hmm.
being getting trained in martial arts, or something that where they can feel a little safer themselves.
Yeah, and you're not the only one that said that. I remember I was watching this one podcast, and the guy he basically said the exact same thing. Like, get them trained in some sort of like martial arts or something like that.
Hmm.
Just to be prepared if something gets out of hand, they're able to defend themselves and also fend off anybody that's trying to intervene in the whole situation. So yeah, you're not the
Yeah,
only one that said that.
well, one thing I also kind of noticed too lately, and with a lot of wrestling schools, they don't really teach you the the um, the old school style, because the old school style where I came from, if there was a shoot, you had to learn to defend yourself. So a lot of the teachers would, give you hints like do this to, kind of keep yourself safe. If you can get into a certain hold, to get them down, great. And then that way things can settle down, and then people can come in to help out, and get a little bit, feel a little bit more safer.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I definitely agree. Yeah, I think safety should be always first when it comes to professional wrestling, and there's a lot of things that went on in that whole situation that definitely wasn't
Mhm.
safe. You know, I mean, I gave my opinion on it, but I guess I'll give some of my opinion again, and you tell me, you can give me, your insight as far as what I'm talking about. From my perspective, as far as what went down, I feel like for one, like bringing Raja Jackson into the promotion was a bad idea. And my reason for saying that is that he doesn't know how to work a match. He doesn't know anything about wrestling besides what he sees on TV or what he's seen his father did a few times. You know what I'm saying? Like, he doesn't know.
Yeah.
And I know from, basically just like watching it on TV, and also actually being at promotions. I know they hold meetings Like I know you guys hold meetings before like a briefing or something before the actual event starts and y'all
Yeah.
break down what's going to happen at the event. There was no briefing. They just were sitting back there. It was a spurt of a moment type of thing. It looked like they were intoxicated. You know what I'm saying? And that
Hmm.
and I'm not giving Rajah Jackson, like, I'm not giving him any like, oh, what he did was wrong. You know what I'm saying?
Oh
So
yeah.
I'm not cutting him any slack. What he did was definitely wrong. But what I'm saying is that a lot of this could have been prevented by cooler minds if they had went over this properly. If they must have had to get him involved, they could have went over it a little bit better, and it probably would have worked out differently. But because everything was staged so fast from the can over the head, then then Stu grabbing him and saying you're gonna sell it. He don't know what selling is. You know what I'm saying?
Oh
He don't.
yeah. And that was evident with the video because when he hit him with the can, the guy didn't even move.
Yeah, he didn't flinch or nothing. He said, "What the hell was that?" He was like, "What was that?" So right then and there, should have been a light bulb and said, "Hey, because you did hear somebody in the background saying that he's not a worker. He's not a worker. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
nobody really got a hint to that, which was surprising. You know what I mean? Because like if I heard somebody saying he's not a worker, instantly I know that's wrestling talk for he's not a part of the show. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So
Hmm.
right then and there, I would have known. But
Yeah. If it were me, if I was the promoter, I would have stopped it right after the can bit and maybe even kept Raja in the back, um, because that way, they can talk it out. And if things weren't cool, then I would say all bets are off.
yeah, yeah. But I do know Rampage came out publicly. He was on the Ariel Hawani show, and he spoke about his disbeliefs on the whole situation and things
Hmm.
like that. So I mean, he had his opinions here and there, but it just was weird. And the thing is, like, that's not the only time something like that happened. This
Oh
type
yeah.
of stuff has happened before. Like, you know what I'm saying? And
Hmm.
that's kind of like weird, like these type of things are just continuously happening off and on, 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 off and on. So like, hopefully, like these promotions can get themselves together and like, basically learn how to navigate through as far as like, keeping
Hmm.
keeping things in order, you know what I mean, because they lost a lot. They lost their ID promotion from WWE. They what else happened? Like WWE just basically disowned them totally.
Well, I'm
Totally.
not surprised either because WWE is infamous for doing that.
Yeah. But you know what's crazy though? But WWE has had bigger fish to fry. Like they got their own issues to fry. So it's like this is not even to the I'm not saying this isn't bad, but WWE's been in the spotlight, so you mean to tell me they couldn't handle this? So it was just like it was just wild to me.
Yeah, well, I know with the WWE, they kind of, if it's not in their realm, they don't want to deal with it. They
Yeah.
know it's somebody down there, let them deal with it, and we'll just wash our hands of it and go our own way.
Yeah. That's basically what happened. So my next question is getting back to the matches because I know you've had a lot of them. So I remember at one point in time you spoke to me about some of the guys that you have faced along your journey. I remember we spoke about it on TikTok. So besides Chris Jericho, besides the New Japan thing, who else have you like really got in there and locked in with, and you could say like, oh, like that was like a pivotal moment for me.
Well, I know when I was younger, I did some jobbing for the WWE.
Oh yeah.
Through Yeah, through because one of the guys that was a main jobber there, Jerry Monty, was one of my instructors. So when they come to California, he'd bring a bunch of us. So I mean, I've gotten in the ring with Roddy Piper. I've gotten in the ring with Bruce
Oh,
Beefcake.
oh,
Um, I, the worst one I think, as far as injury wise, I wrestled against Earthquake one time, and he did a splash, but I forgot to bring myself up. So when he came down kind of harder than I was expecting, and it left me a big bruise all over my chest.
oh, wow, wow, man, man. So you've, man, you. So I guess it's safe to say you well traveled. Like you faced damn, you faced a lot of my childhood heroes as far as like
Oh yeah, yeah. I've
professional
met a
wrestling.
lot of people. The only one I haven't got to meet that I would love to is Ric Flair.
Oh yeah,
Because
yeah.
I grew up loving to watch him wrestle and work, and it just our paths never cross. So it's like if I do, great. If I don't, oh well.
Mm. Yeah, Ric Flair, especially in those times, was one of my favorites too. Especially when they did the crossover between when he was like the NWA slash WCW champion, and then they had
Mm.
him on what was it, Wrestling Spotlight, and he was with Bobby the Brain Heenan. You remember that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I like that promo that he cut on that show at that time. Like, you know, Ric Flair was one of my favorites as a kid. As a kid.
Me too.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, he was like number two after Bruiser Brody for me.
yeah, yeah. I'll give it back to Dub.
Sorry about that, guys.
No,
I
it's
got
cool.
them to give it to somebody else. But let's yeah. Hey, sometimes I can kick on the charm for our dispatchers, and they'll listen to me and give it to another tech out there. You know what I'm saying? That way I don't have to leave.
Yeah.
But let's backtrack a little bit. So, how would you explain your wrestling style?
Good question. I'm more grounded. I'm more the old style pro. Where you work a little bit tighter, hit a little bit harder. But I did, at time was a high flyer myself because I working with the younger guys. I kind of had to learn to do certain moves, so I can pretty much work their style.
Okay.
I know that's right. I know that's right. You got to be well rounded in this because, like, you never know what kind of opponent you're going to have, and or you're going to have, and then now you got to work around his strengths. So
Mhm.
that's always good to be well rounded. Who would you say is the most well rounded wrestler you've gone against?
Oh, that is a really good question. Um, it's going to be kind of surprising, but Roddy Piper,
That's
because
actually
that
not surprising.
guy knew the business backwards, forward. I mean, he knew how to be a heel, really, terrible, I hate you heel, and then he can be the next lovable baby face 5 minutes later. So I would have to say, yeah, definitely Roddy Piper.
That's actually not surprising. I mean, because there's a lot of people out there that will say Roddy Piper was a very, very, very well rounded wrestler.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah,
Mhm. I
yeah, I
It, it,
definitely, with I even though I only wrestled him like for 3 minutes, and it was pretty much taking all his stuff, the poke in the eyes and the slaps and all that stuff. I really enjoyed myself because it didn't seem like it was 3 minutes. It seemed like 30 seconds because it was so good. It felt like it went so fast.
Mhm.
so you're a trainer now, right? Along with
Yes,
being a commissioner. So
yes.
what is a
Well,
training
I'm
session?
I'm playing a story right now where I'm suspended as commissioner.
Mhm.
Mainly because I'm trying to work a TV deal for Stars of Wrestling, so that's taking
Oh,
up a lot
hey,
of my time.
All
And
right.
that I'm also kind of getting an itch to get back in the ring.
Yeah, I remember you said
oh,
that. Yeah, I remember you said that. So, so that leads me to ask you this before I get back to before I let Dub come back. that leads me to ask you this. Speaking of in the ring, I looked at your ring attire. So, what would you say that your ring attire was inspired by? Because I see when I look at your ring attire, I see Demolition, I see Legion of Doom, I see who else had a ring attire like that? I think yeah, that's the only two so far that I
Well,
remember.
the picture you have of me with the gear on,
Hmm.
we got that kind from the Legion of Doom, the Road Warriors.
Oh, okay. So I was
Um,
right on the money with that. Yeah, okay.
yeah. We kind of mimicked our AWA days where they didn't have the super big spikes and the football pads and everything. They actually wore, the leather gauntlets and dog collars and stuff like that.
Hmm.
I know a little bit later on when I started wrestling singles for Bay Area Wrestling, my whole gimmick changed. My partner's gimmick stayed the same, but they put me in a new gimmick, which I kind of copied Gorgeous Jimmy Garvin, with
Hmm.
the spandex pants and the um, tuxedo type jacket without the sleeves and all glittered out and everything.
Hmm. Wow, yeah. I was looking at the outfits and I was like, yeah, it definitely gives me that Demolition and Legion of Doom vibe. That definitely gave me those vibes.
Yeah, yeah. It was kind of inspired by Legion of Doom. Because I mean, as a kid, I used to watch them during AWA, and I always kind of like that was cool. I want to be like that someday.
Hmm. Yeah. Go ahead, Dub. My bad. I just wanted to get out there before I forget.
Nah, you good, you good. So you say that you are a bit of a trainer now. What does a day in training look like for you?
Well, I tried to make it kind of like a class. Being that right now I only have like three students I'm working with. One's a brand new guy, so I'm teaching them the ropes, how how to hit the ropes, how to take the falls, how to throw a punch, how to take a punch, and trying to get him into the mind frame of working a match. Where the other two, one's a guy is going to be my manager when I do end up going back in the ring. So I got to kind of work with him on what needs to be done with, you know, trying to work with my character and working with TV because he's going to actually be doing all my interviews. I'm just going to sit there and kind of like be real quiet because, I want him to get the full experience. And then my third student is a gal, Amanda Storm, who used to wrestle back in the '90s. She was kind of like the China of the independent circuit. She's wanting to make a comeback too, so I've been working with her.
So you want him to be your manager. You're gonna sit there and be quiet, kind of like a Paul Heyman, Brock Lesnar.
No, I kind of more of the old style managers I like,
Okay.
because Bobby Brain Heenan, um, Paulie Dangerously, now Paul Heyman. When he was back first starting out, he did all the talking for those wrestlers and stuff. That I'm trying to kind of bring that back because um, I'll be honest with you, I'm going to be coming in the ring with a mask, so I don't want to do too much talking to give my character away. Um,
Okay.
but that's why I wanted him to take care of all the interviews and stuff. I'm just going to sit there and grunt and groan and agree with them.
What is the inspiration behind the mask?
Well, when I first wore the mask, it was because I ended up tag teaming with my partner, and he already wrestled with the mask. And for a while, the mask came back off. I'm putting it back on now because basically, it's kind of like hard to explain. It's kind of a different type of thing for you. I kind of hide in the identity to make people think I'm somebody else. Um, I'm not like one of the guys from Lucha. The guys from Lucha do it because it's heritage and kind of explains their wrestling career and their family and everything. For me, it's just basically to cover up the face and play a little mystery.
I got you. I got you. I got you. So, what is your? I don't want you to give away too much because this is still in the works. But
Mhm.
what is your wrestling style going to be like now that you're a bit older and you're going back into the ring?
It's going to be more of the ground and pound stuff. Um, I know I'm going to have to face a few guys that are doing the high flying, but I already told them I'm not coming off the ropes for nothing anymore. It's like I'm a little too old to be able to do that type of crap. And I'm going, if you want to, do your high flying stuff, I'll work with you. I said, but I'm staying grounded to the mat. If anything, I may do the little more heel side where doing the cheating, the eye gouges, the loaded headbutts, the choking, and the closed fist punches.
I know that's right. Just out of curiosity, um, why is it that you would like to get back into the ring?
It's kind of fun because I actually got out of the ring when I got married in 1999. Because I promised my wife I wouldn't get in because she was worried about me getting hurt. But it's always been in the back of my head. I know a lot of guys that wrestled in the 20th century and the 21st century, and here I am. I was at almost there, but you know, I quit at that time, and even though it was my decision, it kind of bothered me for I say a few years. And then once I got going with the Stars of Wrestling and doing the referee, yeah, I'm going. I thought, well, this should satisfy me. I can still get a little bit involved with the action, but I'm going. I still kind of miss the wrestling end of it. I enjoy working in front of a crowd and basically, get them, seeing them get the ups and downs and everything. And I figured I should go back and at least do a few more matches. Just to say I've wrestled in the 20th century and then I also wrestled in the 21st century.
How does your wife feel about it since you stopped because of her?
She's not too happy about it, but it's like I told her, I'm going to be wrestling a bit different now. I'm not going as crazy. If anything, it'll be more like the Japanese strong style where it's more grounded and pounding. So, um, basically, I just told her I'll be careful. If I do get hurt, I do get hurt, but that's something I can't control.
It's part of it, getting hurt is part of it. Heck, I mean, at this point, you can get hurt running the ropes.
Yeah, I mean, especially now that it's like because I'm used to the old style ropes. Um, our show ring has the aircraft cable with the rubber casing around it, and they hit it the way I was trained. Man, just like the hip and the back just kill me after a few times.
So how did you? So how can I put? How did you feel after running the new age ropes?
I was about ready to cut them. To be honest with you, I was not real happy about it, and I'm going. And the rings kind of changed a little bit too. I'm used to the bigger style rings, the 18 by 18 or 20 by 20 foot rings. This one it's 18 by 18, but the inside of the ropes are about 14, 15, by 15. So I'm having to take less steps to hit the ropes. So I'm having to get used to turning a little earlier
Mhm.
to hit them, and it kind of throws everything off for me.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Go ahead, bars.
Yeah, so speaking of in ring work and things like that. So you said your style is gonna be more like a ground and pound type of style. What do you what would you add? What Okay, so let me say this. What will you add to your ground and pound style that you didn't have when you were younger?
Oh, that's a good question. I would have to say I'm going to have to be more aware of the high flying stuff because when I was younger, I could do the high flying stuff myself, so I can turn it around. Now I got to make it where if they high fly me, I have to make sure if I'm going to catch them that I'm catching them properly, or if not, if I go back and take the bump, that I'm not trying to kill myself because I've already working out with new students. I've already hit my head on the ring itself a few times, and it's not been feeling so good.
Mm, yeah. Yeah, so do you feel like you're gonna have to work on your timing and stuff like that?
Yeah, I mean, being a little bit older, the timing's not as great as it was when I was a lot younger.
Hmm.
So, yeah, I would have to work on timing, and then some of the new, or I shouldn't say gimmick, new wording that they use because I know some of the stuff I use, they look at me and like, what in the hell's that? And then when I tell them, it's like, oh, that's this. I'm going, okay, when did that change?
Hmm. Hmm. So, would you also say that you're going to be a little bit more technical as well, as far as like submissions and things like that?
Yeah, I know I'm trying to work a couple submission moves into the match that I'm thinking about doing down
Hmm.
the road. But it's just a matter of which ones would look better, and it's just, having to take time to work them out.
Yeah. What would you say is your favorite submission move?
Believe it or not, the sleeper hold,
Okay. Okay. Okay.
and it's something you don't see too much anymore.
No, you don't see. Well, I mean, what's his face used the sleeper move? Gunther. Gunther Walter
Yeah,
used it a few
yeah, I
times.
would say he's about one of the few that actually do. I mean, it used to be everybody and their brother would use a sleeper hold, but I mean, there's not that many people. I mean, Taz kind of has his version of it.
Hmm.
Gunther has his version of it.
Hmm. Yeah, his is like more of a sleeper hold into a chicken wing
Yeah,
type of thing, cuz that's what he did to Jay Uso to tap him out to get his title back. He had him like a sleeper type of chicken wing type of maneuver.
yeah, yeah. I would say it's unique because I remember Bob Backlund used to use that chicken wing crossface as a submission hold, and
Hmm.
that's what it kind of reminded me of.
Hmm. My last question before I pass it back to Doug. Have you ever wrestled in the UK? And if so, or if you haven't, or whatever, would you? Who would? Matter of fact, who would you wrestle if you had an opportunity?
The UK, I've really never really wrestled. I've managed there a couple times.
Okay.
Um, as far as during my time, it was a little bit strange because they did it like boxing. They did it in rounds, not just one fall to a finish.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I mean, if I was go back to the UK and actually wrestle, um, here's going to be a big surprise. Two guys I think I would love to face the most: Will Ospreay and oh God, what's his face? The from New Japan. Um, I can't. I have his name on my mind. I can't remember it.
What does he look like?
Um, Zack Saber Jr. There we go. Zack Saber
Okay.
Jr.
Yeah. Yeah. Zack Saber Jr. is dope. He's the champ right now.
Yeah, yeah. I saw him wrestle for New Japan when they came to San Jose this past January,
Mm-hmm.
and that kid's amazing.
Nah, Zack Saber Jr. is dope. He's very dope. There's so many people that Zack Saber Jr. reminds me of, from his in ring look to the way he wrestles. There's so many people he reminds me of because he's such a technician, but at the same
Hmm.
time he could high fly too when he wants
Oh
to.
yeah. Well, with the thing with Zack Sabre Jr. too, he kind of throws in a lot of the English catch can type wrestling,
Hmm.
and then that itself is not real easy to learn.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah, for sure. Go ahead, Doc.
What is the hardest you've ever been hit? Who was that person?
Oh God, Road Warrior Hawk. He hit me so hard with the clothesline. We actually had to end the match right then and there because it knocked me out cold, and I would think I was out for 20, 30 minutes. Because I mean, I wasn't expecting it to be. I told him to hit me hard, but I wasn't expecting it to be that hard. That where because I did a couple flips and then I ended up landing on top of my head.
Ooh. Ooh.
Wow. What is your least favorite move to take?
Good question. I would have to say the abdominal stretch, because a lot of people don't know how to do it properly, and if done wrong, it not only looks kind of funny, but it stretches you in the wrong places.
I can only imagine what you're talking about. Oh man. So how we've had mixed reactions with this one, and we've heard people like
Mhm.
The Undertaker talk about it. What are your thoughts on the chops?
Oh, it's kind of funny because several places I worked with, it was kind of like chop factory city is what I like to call it, because every other guy would just chop, 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 chop. To me, I've taken so many, it doesn't bother me anymore. Um, and but you get some of the new guys, and in fact, it's kind of funny because I'm training one of the new guys, and I told him, "Give me a chop," and he just, boom, I'm going, "What was that?" He goes, "That's a chop." And he goes, I was trained by somebody else not to hurt." I'm going, "You were with me." I said, "I'm not a China doll. Chop me." And then he chops me again, but it still wasn't that hard. So I told him, I go, "You get in the corner. I'll give you a chop that I want you to do." And I just best rear back and went whack. And he's all, "God, no." He's like, he had to actually step out for a few minutes and put a like ice pack on his chest because I hit him so hard it left a huge bruise. But I told him, that's the way you're gonna be taking them. I said, "A lot of guys do it a lot harder than I do," and I said that I just did like at 50%. I said,
You
"You're gonna
get
get guys that are gonna come down real hard, and you know what? If you cry, they're gonna make it even worse for you."
that gets the Shao Kahn laugh. Yeah. So you gave him that Walter chop. He felt that. He felt that boy. Like I watched Walter give a chop one time, and I'm not talking about the Walter we know now. I'm talking about the old school Walter when he was heavy
Hmm.
set. I seen him wrestle and I forgot who he was going against, and he gave this chop so hard. This guy did a backflip and was knocked out cold. Like when he
Damn.
backflipped, when he took the chop, he flipped. He flipped. And he land just like you say, he landed on his head and he was out cold. They had to call the X. It was over. That's how hard he gave him a chop. I was like,
Yeah,
"Shit."
it's kind of funny because when WCW was still around, they had come to Oakland, California, and my other trainer, Alexis Smirnoff, was actually backstage. So he let me go backstage with him, and I got to meet a lot of the guys. I came in after a match with Ric Flair and Ricky Steamboat, and to see Steamboat's chest, it was just like a hamburger. I'm going, "Ooh, God, that must have hurt."
Yeah, cause I've seen the people get chopped so hard to the point like the vessels, the blood vessels will pop on their chest,
Hmm.
and you'll see their chest leaking like somebody scratched them up, but it's not scratches, it's from the chop.
Oh yeah,
That actually
yeah.
happened to Sheamus the last time he went up against Gunther. That
Yeah,
actually
yeah, yeah,
happened to Sheamus.
yeah. I seen that. I seen that. That's kind of why I mentioned it because I've seen it like the chest leaking, and you'll think to yourself like, where are they leaking from? I didn't see no weapons in the ring, but
Hmm.
they leaking from the chop. Like,
No, a
sheesh.
proper chop will split you open big time.
That explains why people like The Undertaker were so against it.
Oh yeah, I know a ton of people. It's like when I was wrestling, I had several guys, "Don't chop me, don't chop me," and one of them was like a bodybuilder. He goes, "Don't chop me. I got a bodybuilding show in a week." And I was like, that's the wrong thing to tell me." The first thing I did, I went into chopping.
Some things are better left unsaid.
Exactly.
He set himself up for that failure.
Yeah, no,
I mean,
it's like me and him were still good friends and everything, but I told him, I said, That was the wrong thing to say to me because that was part of my arsenal." And I mean, you tell me not to chop, sorry, that's one of the first thing I'm going to do.
mm-mm. I mean, because we've seen it. Like me and Bars have talked about it. Like the Big Show slapped Kofi Kingston to where now his chest is deformed, and
Oh
the same
yeah,
thing
yeah.
with Chris Jericho. Like, why would you want to put yourself through that kind of madness?
Pretty much because we're getting paid for it.
Oh, now they got to walk around with a
Sometimes you
deformed chest.
don't get a choice. They're told you're going to take it and love it. So
Speaking of taking it and loving it, have you worked with Vince McMahon? Any?
I did a jobber when I was a lot younger. When Vince was just taking over, he took all the territories, started grabbing their big stars, and doing the TV thing. I worked with him for a few times when they were in the San Francisco Bay Area.
How was that? Did you have any conversation with them?
No, Vince was never really around. You mostly talked at that time with Gorilla Monsoon and some of the road agents.
Okay. What about WCW? I know you mentioned that once before. Anything else with WCW that you got to do?
WCW is just basically a visit because my like I said, my instructor was back there with he knew a bunch
Right.
of the guys. Um, I mostly stayed within the locker room with the guys themselves, and we chit chat and everything, and they kind of wondering how long I've been in the business and all that, and it was just basic, hello, nice to meet you, thank you for coming and watching us type thing.
So, I'll hold this question. Go ahead, Bars.
Yeah, I just got one question, then I'll just tag you back in. So being that you're a lot older and you're getting back into the ring, do you see
Dang,
yourself?
that's the Shao Kahn laugh talking about a lot older.
No, I didn't mean it like that. No, I didn't mean it like that. You know what I meant. Being that that you are at a different stage of your career. Do you see yourself capturing a title? And if so, like what title do you see yourself capturing within the promotion?
Uh, it's kind of funny because when I was with Barry Wrestling, we were trained a lot with Mae Young,
Mm-hmm.
and Mae Young tried to keep telling us, when you get older in the business, don't make any stupid decisions. Um, and one of them, she says, and thinking you're older, you're going to win a belt, forget about it. Well, I'm kind of going to break that rule because I'm kind of looking as far as Stars of Wrestling to wrestle the current TV champion Dom Cirrus.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but we'll have to see how that goes because I'm trying to also work with some of the newer guys, coming in just so they get the experience of working in front of a crowd.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. That's cool. Let me ask you this question too. Speaking of the TV deal that you said you guys are trying to work out,
Mhm.
is there anything that you could spill as far as like anything, or is there nothing you could discuss as far as the TV deal? Like, is it going to be something that myself or Dub could be able to catch on TV and watch on a certain station or app or whatever?
Yeah, I'm trying to work it out where I'm working with a company that deals with both Fire Sticks and Roku to
Okay.
make our own app. Right now, basically, we do things. We record it, and then we do the dubbing and all that stuff, and then put it on YouTube. But I kind of been wanting to do some live streaming,
Mm-hmm.
and we may do our first in YouTube, if not this show, the following show,
Mm-hmm.
um, and then use all that video we have to try to work a deal out. Maybe if that doesn't work out, maybe try to get on like Triller TV or Independent Wrestling TV, where they can be able to show it with this, the subscriptions that they sell.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay, cool. When that occurs, please let us know because we definitely
Oh, I
would like to
definitely
tune in.
definitely will. I know right now our most of our matches are on YouTube. If you look at SO Wrestling Cali, that's the organization I'm working for.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we've had some matches going far back as 8, 9 years on there.
Okay.
So so there's some big names you'll see on there. Like Jacob Fatu was our world heavyweight champion for a while. Um,
Wow.
yeah, he's on there. Right now, his brother Journey is a champion. We've had like a lot of big stars. Right now, we getting Steve Macklin and Tasha Steeles and Moose from TNA and Ruthie J from NWA and Lady Frost from Ring of Honor. They're all coming in to wrestle for us off and on.
Wow, that's dope. That's
It's
dope.
awesome.
And what'd you say? You said SO. You said SO Wrestling. Was it again?
SO Wrestling Cali,
Okay.
CAL.
So, because I'm going to look it up as we speak right now. You could go ahead, Dub.
So, from your point of view, explain your thoughts on the current state of professional wrestling.
Oh, good question. I mean, it's a lot different from what I grew up with. I have seen, it grow quite a bit. The different changes, the different styles of wrestling that we have now. I mean, if you had gone back when I was in my 20s, maybe late 30s, I mean, you very rarely saw a luchador wrestle in the United States. I mean, the only one I can remember at that time was No Máscaras. But now you're seeing them go left and right. You're getting guys coming in from Japan, coming in from Europe, coming in from South America, coming in from Canada. I mean, you're getting them where they're actually getting in and being able to work a lot more, which is great because during the territory times, you only stuck to one area and it was kind of hard. You didn't, you every once in a while you were able to move out to a different area as like a special guest or something. Now that there's like, I know here in California, there's, I think, like 15, 20 independent wrestling organizations just in the San Francisco Bay Area itself. So
Okay.
our guys get to not only work for us, but they work for other people also.
So, would you say, so everything that you've seen, would you say AEW versus WWE is an actual competition, or this is something that is needed?
I think it's something that's needed because, I mean, WWE has a bad tendency of being all, I'm too big for my britches. And having AEW there as competition kind of, I mean, it kind of makes them kind of more grounded, even though they still doing a lot of stupid stuff. So, what I've seen, but I mean, it gives them the competition, and and plus it gives some wrestlers that like me when I was growing up, I knew I was never going to be a big star in WWE because I was only 5'9", and with AEW, I mean, I'm not real happy because I think Tony Khan's a big mark for the business and he shouldn't be promoting, but I will give him credit is he gives anybody and everybody a chance to make their name out there, as far as either Ring of Honor or AEW itself.
I want to preference this by saying, everybody, before you come at Mr. Allen, know his resume. Yes, he said Tony Khan is a mark, but he said, but Do not come after this man unless you know his resume. 42 years in the business. I think he's earned the right to say whatever it is he wants to say, no matter if it's Tony Khan, Triple H, Nick Khan, your mama's Khan, whatever.
Facts, facts, facts. And that also gets the Shao Kahn laugh. Yeah, I definitely feel like he has the right, to speak his mind, especially considering the fact that he's wrestled the who's who in professional wrestling all the way until now. So, before y'all try to say something, just know who you talking to. This guy's legendary. He's not no flash in the pan type of guy. Like, he's literally been in the ring with some of our childhood heroes. So, like, let's put some respect on his name, We gotta say that, Mr. Allen, because you're gonna have people in the comment section be like, oh, who's this? Like, listen, a lot of these wrestling fans swear up and down they know wrestling, but they don't be knowing jack. And they only know what the current product is providing. They don't really do no research of the territory days or anything like that. They only stick to what they know right in front of them as we speak. So we have to put that out there.
Yeah, well, it's kind of funny because I was watching your broadcast a while back, and there's a wrestler that said, well, there's no jobbers nowadays. I'm going, well, technically, yes, the word jobbers just changed over the years. Because technically, if you're going to lose to somebody, you're doing a job for them. So technically, you are a jobber. And I'm trying to explain that to him, and it's like, oh, great. And I'm going, he says, "Oh, I'm in the business, and the term jobber's not changed." I'm going, it's changed quite a bit, and
I know
it's
that
like
conversation you're talking about.
it's like I'm pounding my head on the table, going, God, it's just like, listen.
You know who it is too, don't you?
I don't know who it is because it's some guy that either way, I know the conversation he's talking about because I read all of it. So yes, the guy, he was literally in there arguing with Mr. Allen about what a jobber is.
Yeah, jobbers, like, to me, and you guys could tell me if I'm wrong, jobber is just like basically an enhancement talent. Am I correct or am I off?
Nowadays, I would say no. During the WWF days, yes, they're basically enhancement talent for the big guys. They take the 3-minute squashes. Now, like I said, nowadays, everybody pretty much, if you lose a match to somebody, you're pretty much what they call doing the job. So you're technically, to me, you're technically a jobber. So anybody who wrestles now, you're a wrestler, but you're also, if you lose to somebody because a promoter tells you to, you're a jobber.
Yeah. So what would you say? What would you say to the wrestlers that come into the business? They're like, I know AEW does it a lot, where they're bringing these guys that'll wrestle these matches against their bigger stars, and they're like they're known in their hometown and on the indies, but they're not known to the general public as far as the fans and things like that. So what would you call those type of wrestlers?
Just pretty much enhancement wrestlers. Okay. I mean, you can call them jobbers, but like I said, the definition has changed a lot over the years.
Yeah, it definitely, a lot of the names and stuff has changed over the course of time. Like, no other the names has not stayed the same. I know I've had to really update on my wrestling terminology just to be able to understand certain things like that, because before even though I knew wrestling before, I wouldn't be able to tell you who a worker was. I'm like, worker? What you mean worker? What you mean, somebody on the block? You mean that type of worker? I don't know what a worker is. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm being honest. Yeah. And then over the course of time, why are you looking at me like that?
Sir.
I'm being honest.
We not just go. We not just gonna skip you talking about somebody.
It's kind of funny, guys. when we started, because Stars of Wrestling went for a while, and then we had to take a break because of money purposes. And when
Right.
we came back, one of the terms I used when somebody came backstage, I go, "Hey, kayfabe," and everybody's looking at me real funny, like, "What's kayfabe?" It's like, "Oh my God, you don't know what kayfabe is?" And then I finally had explained it to a bunch of people. I guess kayfabe's not. I mean, after McMahon, what he did his thing,
Hmm.
kayfabe kind of died away,
Hmm.
and it's
I,
like me. I'm old school. It's like kayfabe's still around for me.
Hmm.
that's what I was going to ask you because you brought up kayfabe. Is kayfabe still alive?
I would have to say no. I mean, if it was still alive, I would, be able to use a little bit more often. But I kind of get like slapped down by a bunch of different wrestlers. Like kayfabe's dead. Kayfabe's dead. You don't need to say kayfabe anymore. It's like okay.
How do you feel when you hear not just people like us, but just people on TikTok? Because I know you're on TikTok faithfully. And how do you feel
Mhm.
when you hear fans use the words that like botch and stuff like that?
At first it really bothered me because, being old school, we didn't like having fans know all these secret terms, but I'm going, Vince McMahon just pretty much killed it all. So I just let it go in one ear, out the other, to, not get myself all lathered up and mad about it. Because I know one time I had somebody on another list call me a rat. It was like, I hadn't heard that term in years, and I'm not a rat. I'm a worker.
Hmm.
And like, I'm going, do you actually know what a rat was? It's like, yeah, it's basically somebody who doesn't know the business that says they do. I'm going, no, there's a little bit farther more than being just, somebody that they think they know the business that don't. A rat is somebody that kind of like, the animal rat, where if you get around, you start bugging a lot of people. So it's like, that's where the terminology actually came from. And I know it's been a long while since I heard that term.
So when you hear the common fan say, "Oh, this person botched," not the word itself, but when you're watching it and you see this person mistime a move or something
Mhm.
happens that's not supposed to happen, and then you get online and talking about, oh, this person botched and it wasn't supposed to be like that. I know for me personally, I hate it. I hate it because this is not movies where they
Oh
get
yeah,
so many takes to get it right. They only get one chance to get it right, and it's not going to be perfect all the time. What do you say to that?
oh yeah. That I definitely feel the same way. It's like, if you're gonna say bots, that's fine, but learn the whole terminology purpose as far as being in the business. I said because I know a lot of people. I still get this a lot. Oh well, you guys choreograph your matches. It's like I've been in thousands of matches, and I think I've only ever had to choreograph one match in my whole life, and that was because I was working with somebody new and they didn't know what was going on, and I kind of had to work with them to let them know, hey, I want you to do this, and then and showing them how to do it right, so neither one of us got hurt. But it's like that I mean, certain terms I'm okay with, but certain terms it's like, I don't know how I'm going to feel about this because I mean, like with botching, it's funny because my wife always tells me I can tell when somebody does wrong in the ring when you're watching wrestling. She goes, I look at your face and you just start cringing, or you put your hand on your head and start saying no, no, no. I'm going, yeah, it's because I've been there, done that, and it's like it looks bad, yeah, but I mean I know sometimes it's you know it happens because it happens.
I mean, it is. It's part of the business. It's like this is a live action show where you shouldn't sit there and expect everything to be perfect. And then it goes back to what you were just talking about. People have this belief. Like I have friends that I talk to daily that I work with that
Hmm.
when I told them that I do a wrestling podcast with my brother here, they was like, "So you actually watched all this choreographed stuff?" I was like, have you ever been in a ring? I know I haven't, so I'm not going to sit here and say that it's choreographed. You know,
Yeah.
have you ever been smacked like that? Have you ever been hit with a chair? Well, it's all fake. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna send you a couple pictures of one wrestler in particular after a match. You tell me
Hmm.
if that looks fake. And the person I always send is the one that everybody knows, Sheamus. I always send a
Oh, yeah.
picture of Sheamus after a match, and you tell me if that looks real or fake.
Yeah.
Which one is it?
Yeah. Honestly, I get that a lot, and it's like I've even made challenges to people. I said, "Do you think it's fake? Come in and ring with me." Of
Mhm.
course, nobody's ever taken me up on it, but one day I will be waiting.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think it's silly. Go ahead.
yeah. Um, not to since we're on this topic, I remember I was listening to this podcast with Ronda Rousey, and she was speaking on the wrestling business, and she basically was calling it fake. But and I was thinking to myself, like, how could you call something fake when you was involved in it at one point in time? Like, you was in the ring, like, and a lot of people were saying that she could be bitter because of her second run in WWE.
Hmm.
Because her first run, I have to admit, her first one was phenomenal. Like, she really
Yeah.
was doing her thing in the wrestling ring. Like, she was like close to almost perfect from somebody to come from MMA and go right into the wrestling ring and perform like that. She was nearly
Hmm.
flawless. And then her second run after she returned, not so much. So a lot of people are saying that she's bitter because of that, because she's calling her herself is calling wrestling fake. What would you say to, like, somebody that's been involved in the business for a short amount of time, and then they decide to cash out, they're not coming back, but then they go and say this and say that about the professional wrestling business where they've been involved in it.
Yeah, I think I would sit down and talk to them and say, "Hey, your brothers and sisters, we don't appreciate it. I know you had a bad experience and everything, but you also had good experiences. There's things you need to talk positive about the business also.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because I met Ronda Rousey WrestleMania 17 when it was down here in Santa Clara.
Mm-hmm.
Um, uh, I accidentally ran into her at a souvenir stand,
Mm-hmm.
and I looked and I'm going, "Are you Ronda Rousey?" She goes, "Yeah." I'm going, and I didn't want to go all fanish and stuff with her, but I did
Mm-hmm.
ask her because I had my 8-year-old son with me. I said, "Would you mind taking a picture with my 8-year-old son?" She's all, "Yeah, no problem." So we took a picture, and then I'm going, I went up. I'm going, I'm a former wrestler myself. I'm going, "No, do you mind me asking, are you getting involved tonight?" And she just kind of gave a smile and said, "I can't tell you that, but if you can take a look, you'll know." And after I saw her in the front row during the bit with The Rock, I kind of knew she was going to get involved.
Yeah, yeah. They usually like, you could usually tell, like, if something epic is about to happen if you see them creep up to the front or whatever, and they're sitting around you. Like, I
Hmm.
remember when I took my son to his first wrestling show. One of my sons in Atlantic City. AEW came to Atlantic City, and we went out there, and John Moxley, and I told Dub this story. John Moxley was literally at this stand, literally like a couple feet away from me. Like, I could literally just reach over and touch his shoulder. And I'm
Hmm.
looking, I'm like, oh snap, this is Mox. And then and it was really not too many people around, because like they were filming. They were cutting a
Hmm.
promo. They were cutting a promo because they were preparing to the um the story where they were going to face the ops. They were getting ready to. They were preparing. They were building towards that story to face the
Hmm.
ops, Samoa Joe and all them. So
Yeah.
I'm looking, and like, you could tell that you could tell that he could tell that I was geeked out, because I'm like, yo, I'm literally standing like in front of him, and like, you know how he got to stay in character, but they was like, oh yeah, I know he thinks this is cool, and then
Yeah.
as soon as I'm done, me and my son went and get a snack. We come back over, and there goes Wheeler Yuta. Walks right past us. He's in character, but it's just it was just cool. You know what I'm saying? To like see them
Mhm.
that up and personal, and AEW is known for doing stuff like that. Like they're
Oh
known to
yeah.
like
Oh yeah.
really get you unhinged with the professional wrestlers. You know what I'm saying? And the wrestlers enjoy it too. The wrestlers enjoy it a
Oh
lot
yeah.
too.
Yeah, I would say especially with young kids.
Hmm.
I know that if you get most wrestlers, they'll go out of character for young, to make sure a young kid has a good experience with them.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, I didn't. I didn't want to like press you to get out of character because my son kept staring at him. So I was like,
Mhm.
I was like, oh, why isn't he? My son was like, why isn't he looking over here? I was like, yo, he can't. They're filming right now, so he can't come out of character to come shake your
Oh
hand.
yeah,
But I'm pretty sure if the camera was off, he'd probably
yeah.
just come over and slap you five. You know what I mean? Because he got to stay in character. He's a villain. He's a heel. My
Mhm.
son was like, what's a heel? I was like, he's a bad guy. And then he was like, okay, bad guy, bad guy. So, he really knows. So,
Yeah, I kind of had love with my son because when we had WrestleMania in the Bay Area
mm-hmm,
quite a few years ago,
mm-hmm,
he was a huge fan of Sin Cara,
mm-hmm.
and he made me stand in line 2.5 hours so he can get Sin Cara's autograph. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
all getting mad at him and say, I want to go see AJ Lee. No, I don't want to stand here. He goes, Dad, you're staying here. Tough.
Mm-hmm.
It's like
Yeah,
I'll go, hey, all right. I know this is for you and not for me.
yeah, yeah. My son, he likes Kevin Knight. When he seen this one thing where Kevin Knight did this like
Mhm.
450 splat, he was like he was going nuts. He was like, oh, whoa, Dad, did you see that? Oh my God. I was like, yeah, these guys be going all out. Yeah, so
Yeah, I would say I know with me, I kind of do go out of character too around young kids because it's like they they want to think it's real, but it's like they don't want to see. I don't want to get them upset and not come back to our shows again because it's like I know most of the money we get is our kids bringing their parents to see the show and everything. So I
mm,
I kind of will change attitude a little bit when I'm around young kids. It's like I'll take pictures, I'll do autographs, whatever you want to do, that's fine. I said, but when the show starts, I'm gonna have to let you go and go back to your seats, and I got to do my job.
mm, yeah, yeah. So I got well, matter of fact, I let Dub go because I know we winding down. Go ahead. Okay, all right. So my question is your promotion going to make any trips towards the Jersey Shore?
We eventually would like to, but I'm not 100% sure right now.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to get back after being out for 3 years, so we're trying to build ourselves back in the Bay Area, and then would eventually like to expand. I know
Mm-hmm.
I've been working with different promoters, trying to get their talent in, so we can send some of our talent out that way. And then eventually, I'm hoping we can do like a co-promotion type thing down the road.
Yeah, we'd definitely like to see you in Jersey, and I know
Oh, well,
Dub.
believe me, if I can get there, I will be there.
And I know Dub would definitely like to see you guys in Oklahoma. Like, we'd definitely like to see you in Jersey.
Shoot, we like to see anybody in Oklahoma. Let me be honest with you. So Raw would be here in November. I was looking at tickets for me and my son. My son loves Jay Uso. Loves, like, anytime it comes on TV, he's 5, so he runs around the house yeeting on everybody.
Mm.
So I was trying to get tickets right. So I'm
I wish
trying
I
to
could
get
say that about
tickets to
my
go
kid,
to.
but he's in North Carolina now, serving with the Marines, so I don't see him too much.
Uh, on behalf of myself and Bars here, thank him for his service for us.
I
Sweet,
definitely will.
yeah, yeah.
As an Army vet myself, tell them I really appreciate them.
Well, thank you for your service.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah,
But
I grew up as a Navy brat, but when I tried to join, they flunked me out during the physical, so that's how I got into wrestling.
did you have bone spurs like the president?
No, I have high arches, so there's one move I couldn't do because of it, and they just instantly flunked me.
I, I know, kind of getting off topic of the wrestling, but I actually wasn't supposed to be able to join because I have asthma and I have flat feet.
Mm.
But I got a waiver from the doctor. Doctor said, no, as long as you carry an inhaler with you, I don't see a problem with it. And I served 10 years. So,
Wow.
yeah.
Yeah, I tried doing the doctor thing myself, but all the recruiters told me, go unless you go in the Marines, they're not going to accept you. I'm going, no, I'm not going in the Marines. Sorry. I said, I'm not into torture, you know. Then I go into wrestling. So, I mean, different kind of torture, but oh well.
But it's still torture. Right, right.
Yeah.
So what I was getting at is I said we could. I want to see anybody come here because like Raw will be here in November, and I'm looking at tickets for me and my son. I'm talking about just to sit in the nosebleeds. I'm talking about spending $400-500. I'm like, how? I can't afford this. I got 2 other kids
Mhm.
and a wife. I can't afford to do this. So I would love to see you come here. You know, we've talked to the Ashe wrestlers that we've talked to. We've told them we want to see. I want to see them come to Oklahoma. I want to see anybody come here, especially
Oh
people
yeah.
that I've talked to. So I would definitely love to see you come here so I could, meet you in person too.
Oh yeah. I would say I would love to, because I've been to Oklahoma a few times for wrestling with different promotions, and I've always enjoyed it down there. The only place I really never really liked wrestling at was in Texas because, man, they are into the wrestling, and especially if you're working a heel, you pretty much have to wear a mask 24/7 because if they find out you're a heel, they will go after you.
Wow.
Noted.
Wow.
Anything else, Bars?
No, no, I'm just vibing, man, enjoying the conversation and everything. Yeah.
What is your least favorite weapon to get hit with?
Chair, because if it's done wrong, it hurts big time. And there's a lot of people that really don't know how to do the chair properly.
Yeah. Do
I
you
mean, though I'll have to admit though too, I don't like watching guys get thrown into the thumbtacks because to me that looks like it hella hurts.
Mm.
what about like what was it? It was All In, Moxley and Hangman Page, and he took that did he get body slammed on the bed of nails?
Yeah, he got
Yes,
body
yes,
slammed
I
bed
remember
nails.
that.
Yeah. Yep.
Bruh.
Oh, it's kind of funny because there's a trick to the bed of nails. They're not really that sharp. They usually flatten them out. So when you go down, and you can give the illusion, oh yeah, you went down hard, and it'll leave you marks, but it's not going through the skin like a thumbtack would.
You heard it here first, folks. Mr. Allen done told you a little bit of the secret to the business.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of funny because the nail things came from the circus, and I knew long before I ever joined the business how that one would work over. I'm going because those nails were not sharp.
So what about the 2x4 with the nails embedded around it, and you see them get hit in the back, and it just sticks in the back?
Yeah, that to me, I'm not a big fan of either because that can do a lot of damage. Because usually those nails are a little bit sharper to get into the skin, and it's like anything with me where a foreign object tries to get in the skin, forget about it. I'm all against it.
That's a tetanus shot, sir.
Yeah, exactly. Another one I'm not a big fan of is the neon light tubes. It's like those guys are crazy because that dust can kill you.
Yes, yes, that is some toxic stuff.
Yeah,
That's
no
that's the
kidding.
kind of stuff you see on those death. Have you ever worked a death match?
Once, but the death match didn't have like we didn't have the lights at the time. It was pretty much just barbed wire and the ones I wrestled once death match in Japan where you hit the barbed wire and then boom, big explosion goes off, and then eventually when you get down to and near the end, the it pretty much explodes all around the ring. So you and your opponent are kind of like covering each other. So if any sparks or anything comes on, it's not going to hit you in the eyes or in the ears or
Hmm.
go into your mouth or anything. And it's like that was the first and only time I think I would ever wrestle that type of match again.
Speaking of those kind of matches, have you had any run-ins with Mick Foley or Terry Funk?
Terry Funk, yeah, I've ran into him a few times in Japan and then a couple times here in the States. Mick Foley, I've only met once at a comedy show he was doing, and there were so many people I didn't get much time to talk to him.
You ever worked a match with Terry Funk?
No, that would be another guy. If I could, I would have loved to wrestle him, but no, I wrestled his brother Dory, but
Dory.
never Terry.
That goes into my next question. Dream opponent, past or present?
Be honest with you, Bruiser Brody. I would have loved to have been able to wrestle with him.
Anybody from the
And
present day?
present day, I would have to say Will Ospreay.
Will Ospreay.
Yeah,
Yeah, he
I
brought.
love to watch him wrestle, and he's crazy, but you can tell he enjoys what he's doing.
Absolutely. So, if you had a chance to work for AEW, if you had two contracts sitting in front of you right now, one from AEW and Tony Khan, other one from Triple H and WWE, which one would you choose and why?
That is a really good question. I would have to say AEW because they're more open, to allow you to work what you like to do, where WWE is pretty much you do our style, and then say like I was good enough to work the main Raw or SmackDown, but they put me down at NXT. I'd be like, excuse my language, bitching a lot because it's like I knew I would be much better up there than I would be down there. Where Tony Khan, it's he I will give him credit there, is he does allow people to work both the Collision, the Dynamite, and if you feel like it, Ring of Honor. Um, and then basically you can he doesn't ask you to sign away your gimmick, like the WWE does. You can work your own gimmick if you want to change your name. Great, we'll work with that name and everything.
So, do you credit AEW for WWE finally allowing wrestlers to wrestle outside of WWE?
Yeah, I'm gonna say because I know we've gotten a few wrestle for us for Stars of Wrestling, and it's been basically, you know, I I think the Forbidden Door pay per view was like the big crossover because it allows allowed different promotions to work for AEW, but AEW is allowing them to go here, go there, and
Hmm.
Tony, from what I was heard, I haven't really talked with Tony Khan. He's usually pretty open that if you want to work for somebody else and you don't have a match with him that night, you're more than welcome to go work for that person.
And it's crazy because that's why a lot of wrestlers are signing with AEWs because
Mhm.
they don't necessarily have to wrestle for AEW. They can go wrestle in Japan. They can go wrestle in Mexico. They can go to Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling and wrestle. Whereas for the longest time, if you were with WWE, you were with
Oh yeah,
WWE, and that's that.
you were WWE,
Well,
nothing else.
right. So now we're seeing like Natty and GCW and Bloodsport, and
Mhm.
we're seeing, Omos over there. Excuse me. We're seeing Omos over in Japan. We're
And,
seeing
and
wrestlers
now in
down in
Mexico
Mexico.
too.
Yeah. So I would have to agree with you. I would say I would credit AEW for showing WWE like if you want to keep your wrestlers, you might want to start letting them wrestle elsewhere too.
Oh yeah, and to me, that's actually a benefit for the wrestlers because it gives them more chance to work different styles too, which
Right.
like kind of hard with the territory days because you got your special guest every once in a while. They were there short amount of time, then they would leave, and then you're back to the old grind again.
Absolutely, absolutely. Anything else for you, Bars?
Nah, no.
All right, I got one more, and then I got one that I like to end the show with. What is a pre-match ritual or superstition that you have?
Uh, Besides, trying to shake off the nerves because I don't know why I always got nervous before a match. Basically, doing calisthenics, push-ups,
Mm,
jumping jacks, trying to get the nerves out, but also to keep the body kind of warm.
mm-hmm.
And then also one thing I like to do behind the scenes is do a quick prayer before I actually do go out to make sure that
Yeah,
nobody gets hurt and we can get through the whole thing without looking real bad.
yeah.
Absolutely. I was thinking about something before I asked my last question. Um, how bad was the steroid era? Because I know you were. I'm not saying that you did, but I'm sure you might have seen it. How bad was it?
It was pretty bad. Um, I mean, there's a lot of guys that won't admit it that were actually on steroids. I know a few of them now are dead, so it's like it was pretty big, back in the 80s and early 90s. I kind of experimented with it, but luckily I got out of it real quick because it's like it just didn't feel right for me.
Um, Speaking of somebody that's passed, you are back. You're an '80s guy, '70s, '80s, early '90s guy. Wrestled. What were your thoughts on Hulk Hogan passing?
You know what? Was never a big fan of Hulk Hogan, and the only ever instance I ran into him, he was really rude to me. So it's like I really didn't care on it. To me, he was like a big jerk.
I mean, we're hearing stories every day about, some people say that he was a jerk, and some people say, "Oh, he was good to me."
Well,
And
yeah,
then
I'm saying I know a guy that I brought into the business, Michael Modest. He said Hulk Hogan was really good to him, but it's like to me, it's like he acted like a jerk. And of course, this was during the times when he first won the WWE Championship, and he was all high and mighty and everything. So I mean, I think if maybe we met later down the line, that might have changed, but I won't never know now.
so, what is your reaction to how people of color were reacting to his death, like not really caring and bad mouthing him and stuff like that, considering what we know about him and the stuff that he said about his daughter's then boyfriend?
Oh yeah, no, I kind of agree with them. I think it's not right. I've been growing up where everybody's equal, and I don't give a care if you're male or female or trans or gay, if you're black, white, yellow, orange. We're all human beings, and it's like we all have our struggles, we all have our cheers, and basically we should work together and not apart like what he was promoting.
I know you've been in a bit. I keep coming up. I keep having these questions pop up, so I apologize.
Oh, no
So
problem.
we ask a lot of the wrestlers that we interview this, and a lot of them are black wrestlers. So I want to get your
Hmm.
perspective on it. How do you feel about the representation of people that look like me and Bars within the wrestling business today?
I actually think it would be a lot better if they promote you guys a lot more because I know there's a lot of promoters out there that won't promote black wrestlers. And to me, after watching you guys and mentioning Ashe Wrestling, I actually sat down and watched them one time, and I'm like, wow, that is great. I really enjoy it because it's different. It's not you're not seeing a white announcer putting down a black wrestler because he's black. It basically, in fact, a good friend of mine, Tasha Steeles, wrestled for them not too
Mhm.
long ago,
Mm-hmm.
and I asked her about it, and she goes, "Yeah, they are totally different, and it's like it's really good thing for for the organization itself and the way they promote different wrestlers."
And I want to preface this by saying we I think it was you Bars that sent it to me maybe,
Mm-hmm.
but the owner of the company, the owner, CEO, president of the company, Darius Lockhart, he had posted on his Instagram a question that was asked at him by a white person, asking if it was okay if him and his wife come to the show. And he broke it down. It's like, yeah, anybody's welcome to the show. Just because we are
Oh yeah,
promoting, right? Just because we're promoting black talent, black excellence, doesn't mean that nobody outside of the black race can come to the show. Everybody is welcome. We're a family here, but we just want to
oh
be
yeah,
able to promote because we don't get a lot of promotion outside of AEW does a pretty good job of it. I mean, but what other companies are really promoting black talent? You guys
yeah. I would
are
say,
because Moose and Tasha Steeles and so on and so forth.
yeah, Moose and I mean, we're pretty much open gambit. I mean, we have Samoan wrestlers, we have black wrestlers, we have white wrestlers. We have one Oriental gal that comes in and out. I know the owners, Icebox, who is a former roller game skater, and Tony Fury. Icebox is black, Tony's Puerto Rican, and it's like I mean, working with them, it kind of changed me a bit because I'm kind of grizzled on the outside, and there's certain people that's like I don't want to deal with you, and they've
Mm-hmm.
kind of opened up my mind and said, hey, try them out, talk to them, let us know what you think, and then we'll go with your recommendations. So they've been really open with me and using my experience to kind of improve the organization as a whole.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, I'm gonna ask you my last question. If you could see anybody on a Ring Ropes and Turnbuckle podcast, who would that be? But you have to help us get the person on the show.
Oh God. um, you know what? It's going to sound kind of funny, but Moose, he wrestles with us a lot, and I talk to him off and on. Another guy that I haven't seen him in a while, but he used to work with us a lot is Bobby Lashley.
We would
Oh,
He would have a
love to have
really
them.
interesting
we
story.
would love to have the Almighty on the show. Yeah.
Yeah,
Or
he's a
Moose.
super nice
Or
guy.
Moose, yeah.
But I haven't talked to him in a long while. But Moose, I'll be seeing on October 4th. I could talk to him and see if he'd be interested in talking with you guys. In fact, I'll probably bring
Absolutely.
my laptop so he can see what's going on and everything.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, just let
Yes.
them know we have we're building our resume. We have an extensive resume buffed off. Our first official guest that really paid attention to us was Elijah Burke. So we had Burke on the
Oh, the
show.
Pope.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, we
Yeah.
had the Pope on the show, and
I mean, he even went as far as saying like talking with us was like we was just sitting there. He was sitting there talking to his cousins, drinking a beer, just hanging out.
hmm
hmm
hmm yeah,
Yeah, I'm gonna say you guys are really easy to talk with. I mean, that's one thing I appreciate because I've been on a lot of shows and they're like question after question after question. It's like, let me talk. It's like you guys have
Yeah.
given me enough time where I can talk, and then asked all great questions. So I do really appreciate that.
It's taken a lot of practice. It's because you can ask Bars. When we got Elijah Burke, I was beyond nervous. It's like I was because like these are guys that we watch on TV. I mean, we got another
hmm
big one coming up on Monday. Like these are guys we watched on TV. These are guys we grew up with. It's like these guys are huge to us. You know what I
yeah.
mean?
Oh
So
yeah.
Larger than life.
when I was able to book Elijah Burke, I'm like, what do I do?
Yeah. Yeah, I talked to him.
Got kind of starstruck there, huh?
Yeah,
Yes.
I talked to him before we went on the show. I said, "Listen, man, we got this, man. You got this. You got this." And he did phenomenal. He did phenomenally well. Like, he led the whole interview. I said, what I say? I said, we gonna follow your lead. You got this. We're gonna follow your lead. And then he did terrific. You know what I mean? Couldn't ask for anything better. It was one of our favorite interviews. Yeah.
And if you want to hear that, it's on our link tree. It's on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, it's on Amazon Podcasts, and it's on iHeartRadio Podcasts. It's on there. It's on there. You can listen to our very first interview with Elijah Burke.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
And you can show Moose.
Yeah, I'll show Moose. I'll probably, if I get a chance to talk with her, Tasha Steeles also. But I know she's really busy. She travels pretty much all around the country. So I'll try to do what I can, but can't make any promises there.
That's okay. As long as you try, that's all we ask. Is just try. If nothing happens, nothing happens. It is what it is. At least you tried.
Mm-hmm.
I'll definitely try for you.
So before we end the show, would you like to promote your promotion?
Yeah, Stars of Wrestling in Alameda, California. Our next show is October 4th. It's called Red October. We're still getting the matches put together, but we pretty much have the full card. It's going to be a huge star-studded card. We didn't get who we originally wanted to come in, but we did get, like I said, Moose. We got Steve Macklin. We got Tasha Steeles. We got Lady Frost from ROH. Got one of my favorite gals who works the Independence, Kia Dream. She's going to be wrestling on the card. It's going to be an interesting card to put together and to plan out. But, I'm hoping that fans come and enjoy themselves because, that this is why I stay in the business, is because of them.
Is there going to be a way for us to watch Red October?
Not right. Well, I'm trying to work on live streaming. So October 4th, if you get on YouTube, that the SOW Wrestling Cali, if you happen to see it live, you can watch it. If not, we will dub it and put it on probably like a week or two later.
Sounds good.
So this the SOW Wrestling. I'm looking at something right now. It says SoCal Pro Wrestling. Is that you guys?
No, we're more up Northern California.
Okay. All right,
yeah, it's SO Wrestling Cali.
SO Wrestling Cali. Okay, I'm still trying to look for it. I'm gonna find it.
Yeah, and I think it's like that
is
with
it all
Facebook,
together?
YouTube, and what's that?
Is it all together? SO Wrestling
Yes.
Cali? Okay.
Yes, all together.
Okay. All right. Yeah, one of us will find it, and then we'll get it because I want to.
I'm gonna say after this is over, I'll send you a link to either our YouTube or TikTok.
Okay. Yeah. Please.
Yes. Yeah.
Please.
Yeah.
Yeah. Send us both. Send us both.
I definitely will.
So we will definitely be keep us updated on the card. If you have a chance to send us, like, once the card and everything is finalized, if you have a chance to like send it to us, me and him will promote it, and we'll do a show promoting the show and going over the match card.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, great. I'm gonna say because I know way we do it is we go. You get the whole card for like the original promo, and then once we get all the matches set up, we do a promo for each match.
Mm-hmm.
And we usually do that for YouTube, for TikTok, and for Facebook.
Okay.
Well, if you would like us to help out, feel free to do that. If not, we totally
Definitely
understand.
will, 'cause any help we can get would be great.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We really, 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 really appreciate you again. Thank you for being willing to reschedule due to my illness. So I really appreciate you.
No problem. I'm a diabetic myself, so I totally understand.
Yeah.
And I've been there, so I know exactly how it is.
Yes. It's tough.
Yeah, Mr. Allen, we appreciate you stopping through and conducting this interview with us. We are humbly grateful, and you are not a stranger to this podcast. You are now family, like the other wrestlers that we have interviewed in the past. So, anytime you got anything coming up in the near future, send us a holler. We'll definitely have you on the show so you can promote it.
Well, I really appreciate that. I want to say thank you. Thank you for inviting me because I really enjoyed this time. It doesn't seem it's been that long that we've talked, but it's like I know it's been quite a while right now. So, I mean, I've enjoyed every minute of it.
We appreciate you. We appreciate you. So, any closing thoughts, Doug?
Man, this is our first video in probably about what, 2 weeks, week and a half, 2 weeks.
I'll say
Been on and on.
Week.
Has it been a week?
Been about a week. Yeah, cause we dropped like 3 videos like
That's
last.
right. That's
yeah,
right.
So it's been
That's right.
Yeah.
But don't mind me.
One question for you guys. If you ever get Jonathan Gresham come on, let me know because I enjoy watching him wrestle also. And I
I've
kind of
emailed
love to learn
him.
a little more.
I've emailed him, but we know what he's going through right now, so
Yeah.
we'll see. I will try to reach out to. So I'm the main guy that people talk to when we setting these shows up, and then he does all the editing. So I will try again once I see that on social media that he's back up and going and back in good health or whatever. I'll try to reach out to him again.
Sounds great.
Yes, sir.
Alrighty.
All right, so we thank you, Mr. Allen, for being on the show with us today. And this is an exclusive Ring Ropes and Turnbuckle podcast, along with Mr. Allen Smith of Soul, of what's Cali Wrestling promotion? What's the promotion again?
Stars of Wrestling.
Stars of Wrestling, Alameda, California.
Stars of Wrestling, California. Make sure you check them out on YouTube. Make sure you check them out on TikTok. Make sure you check them out on any platform known to mankind. Make sure you check them out because we'll be checking out too. And you see Dub saluting. This is the insightful one. We'll be back with another one. See ya.
Thank you, guys.